All right, so obviously looks like we've dodged a bullet for 1117, and which is the right eye Bible verse. But perhaps that's too obvious now. Here's what I like about 1118. It's the initials of the girl almost married, KAH, who was the world's biggest QAnon fan. In other words, I went on to know he's the Antichrist, and she went on to basically revere him. And we are that day before that full moon. And then we'll get to the full moon. And then after the full moon, we'll be looking really hard at December 2nd or December 3rd, but I kind of like December 2nd. And Michael Jack said, it's already November 17 on the Canary Islands for about 5 hours at the time I'm writing this. I've been following the earthquake activity on La Palma multiple times per day since the earthquake started on September 11th. Well, that's good stuff. I appreciate that, Michael. We all do. There's been at least 24 earthquakes, underground detonations since midnight La Palma time today on 11/17. This is the most amount of earthquakes that I've seen since this all started. Is the big event getting closer? Well, it's definitely getting closer. No matter if it's 10 years away, it's getting close, but I know what you're saying. I'm just messing with you. Is this big event going to coincide with a full moon lunar eclipse? And it is a lunar eclipse. It's a partial, but let's go back and remember that there is a 404 associated with this full moon or the time of the eclipse. And 404 is the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. Partial lunar eclipse peaking at 4:04 a.m. Frosty the Snowman, it's the frost moon. So about 6 minutes is when the moon goes exact full at 3:58 a.m. 6 minutes later, you get a partial lunar eclipse. The entire eclipse is 3:28, which my second wife and I combined numbers ends in the last three numbers are 328. So, and 1119 is 911 backwards with a 1. So, 119 or 1119 versus 911. 911. They've always had that number as the emergency number. That's why a lot of people think it's Jesus' birthday, but I share no opinion on that. Would not pretend to know when Jesus was born. But thank you for that, Michael. Update: 32 earthquakes in La Palma after midnight, 11:17 through 5:20 a.m. local La Palma time. So we certainly appreciate you keeping up with that. And hang on just a quick second. You know how I like to pretend that I'm being trolled by the AI and that they put their stuff out there for me to know they're trolling us. It's kind of like a little joke I have. Well, so this one cat dropped the word on College Football Live. He dropped the word anomaly, which I've been using that word a lot. And this guy, Greg McElwain, he never uses the word anomaly. They never use the word anomaly. And they dropped it. Weeks before, they used the word Excel spreadsheet, start making fun of it because it was in an email to my second wife where I was talking about spreadsheets and Excel. And what was the other thing? Oh, I use the word narrative a lot, that in sports, they're giving you the narrative of college football. They're telling you how to think. These college football live shows, Paul Feinbaum show, all these shows, they tell you how to think in their scripted fake college football world. And Dan Mullen in his press conference on Monday, nonstop used the word narrative and said, well, this is your narrative. It's not my narrative. It's your narrative. And he just kept repeating the word narrative. So I'm sure it's just coincidences. I'm just kidding that they. So this guy comes out. I'm a My Pillow guy, by the way, and had been for years. Well, is this part of the trolling mechanism when he became one of, those weird Trump people? Since I'd always use My Pillow, I don't know, but I got this promo code today. Look at that. There's the 66. Look when it expires, 131. And of course, we do know that the Eye of the Tiger, or the Year of the Tiger, begins the following day on February 1st. We really like February 2nd, my divorce date, because it's my divorce date. But mainly because you are portaling back to the cold full moon on December 18th. And yeah, and Groundhog Day, if I didn't already mention it, seems like it's the guy living, I think I did mention it, that he's living, he's stuck in that rut. He can't get out of that rut. Like Trump can't get out of that rut of being the Antichrist, who's going to be handled by the Lord in his due time. And it's all about breaking out of that Groundhog Day repeating of the same thing over and over and over. Like every time you read Revelation, same thing happens to Trump and the Antichrist and the beast and the false prophet. And all of a sudden, I don't know, does he break out of it? Hey, it's 6/14, his birthday. Boom. I know, I'm just joking with you. My eyes catch everything with numbers. So I was watching this thing on the evergreen tree and its needles. And it made me think of needles in Back to the Future. Back to the Future, needles. And that's him right there. Douglas J. Needles. This is the you're fired, you're fired. Well, that goes back to the evergreen tree again. And I think there's a movie called All About Eve, that it's all about Eve. And Eve is in the number 11. Now, we know that needles also could be pointing to the pokey poke. Totally get that. I mean, but they can all work together. But if you do a simple gematria on the number 11, the word robin has Eve in it too, when it's spelled so you see 11. You see the word Eve in there? 5225 is Eve in simple gematria. And it sits right in the middle. And they used to like that word El, because El was the word for God in the Bible. El, God. El, deity, which is 512, or the beginning of 11, and then you move over to Eve. So you get God and then you get Eve, like boom, boom, back to back. L. I remember me trying to do a video last night whenever I was like on all those herbs that make me go to sleep. And I was like, sound like I was intoxicated. Wow. Is that the 410? Remember the 41 over 13 or 41 to 13? which by the way was my Adam. Because if you look at Adam in Gematria, it's the 4113. That was the score of my first victory as a head football coach. So I never forgot 4113. It always equated to victory. When you key in Adam, you get a 413 up there for 4113, but you get a 41 and 13 down there. Well, when you look up L, its number is 410. Or 41 over 13 defeats the 13, or 4113. So that's the winning score. So it's almost like 11 is Adam and Eve put together. So that movie, It's All About Eve, because it's all about Eve, right? What she did in the garden. Per, of course, no free will whatsoever. God ordained that. And so since tomorrow is 18, 6 plus 6 plus 6, you literally tomorrow would have Adam and Eve 666 with 11. You got the L, but you at least have the Eve, even if you don't buy into the Adam thing. That's kind of a coincidence. And but 11, it's got the word Eve in it. And tomorrow's the 18th. Just some interesting observations. I'm definitely not strong. I mean, I'm going to start getting strong on dates. And, you know, again, we do have to look at 11/22, the Kennedy assassination day. Oh, the other thing I wanted to look at was Lincoln and Kennedy. How spread out are they? Abraham Lincoln, Wikipedia. What if all three deaths were separated by like a triangle? Or if these guys were 1/3 of the calendar. Well, we already know JFK's. It's November 22nd. So when is Lincoln's death day? He died March 3rd. Let's look at the day that's in between just those dates. March 3rd. November 22nd. Abraham Lincoln, Wikipedia. Just want to make sure, double check one more time. No, he died April 15th. See, I'm glad I went back and looked. April, which is a full moon on the 16th. It's tax day, isn't it? Wow, that's exactly 144 days apart. So So 72 days. See if it lands on one of our hot dates. February 2nd, Groundhog Day, my divorce date. There you go. February 2nd is in between Lincoln and Kennedy's death days. And it's on the day that portals back to, and that's right, that is the Eye of the Tiger, day 2. It is the new moon, day 1 or 2. I'm sorry, day 2 or 3. It is the day of my divorce to the 88. Y'all, we got this. It's going down February 2nd on Groundhog Day. Right? Come on, man. Y'all are with me on this. Surely. The moon phases. It's early in the morning. Oh, they gave us a new website now. I'll be, folks. Hang on a second. Let me learn this new site. Well, it's a different look. So they're telling us that in my Eastern time zone, which is where Trump would be, either Florida or New York, unless he's traveling, right 49 minutes into the month of February. We have the new moon. So on the 2nd, it is a waxing crescent, 3%. Then he would rise out of that on that full moon. Excuse me, he would ascend. He would rise on the 3rd day, which is the waxing crescent, 4 days in. And if you look at what it looks like, you can actually see it. It doesn't become visible until Friday. He would go down on a Wednesday, which is from the Addams family. Wednesday, the train wreck, the markets crash. And then when you see that crescent on the 5th, that's the crescent moon we showed you in IPEC Goat when Osama bin Laden is summoning those spirits. That's when he would rise. And then later he ascends. And I think if we take a look at IPEC Goat, he's about to rise. Markets are crashing, which would be the following day on the 3rd. War would break out on the 4th. La Palma. War. Red and black lights go off in its eyes. Year of the Tiger. Remember, we got Year of the Tiger and Day of the Dead. So it's Year of the Tiger and Day of the Dead. I don't think we ever really put that together before. But if he's going down February 2nd, the Day of the Dead is the eye at the beginning of the Year of the Tiger, because he's blowing out a new year. Blower. Day of the Dead doesn't have blowers. New Year's Day does. So, well, it's pretty cool that we know when he's going down. Finally. Because that's what's going on. Year of the Tiger spins around. Day of the Dead. Chinese New Year, New Year's Eve is when he goes down, is when he's dead. But he's barren Saturday. And we're talking about him going down on a Wednesday. I like it. Groundhog Day. Dude goes down on Groundhog Day. Dude goes down on Groundhog Day. Dude goes down on my divorce date. Unbelievable. It's not going to be December. It's not going to be November. It's not going to be December. It's not going to be January. It's going to be right there at that Super Bowl. Super Bowl 2022. Oh, that's right. It's back a week. It's right there at Valentine's Day. That's so crazy. LVI. Yeah. We already looked at Super Bowl LVI, didn't we? Sure did. Aleister Crowley reincarnated. All right. Well, I think more importantly, to look at numbers, Stormy Daniels, the book of Daniel, here comes the coming storm. No doubt. That's what Stormy Daniels is about, by the way, the book of Daniel, end times, storm coming. We need to see Groundhog Day. It's all one word, isn't it? Pokey Pokes, Michael Jordan. Remember, Michael Jordan's number 23, and 23 through the portal is February 2nd. August 10th, the birthday of more people I know than anybody else. Tracy McGrady, the basketball player's dad, who I was best man in his wedding, and my second wife's first husband. Ooh, COVID, 9, teenager. Look at that. And didn't the first word have VACCINES, the Pokey Pokes? So you're telling me Groundhog Day has COVID 19 in English and simple, and you're telling me that in Jewish, VACCINES. That's just crazy. You're crazy. There's the 101. We have the word Freemasonry, as I spell it. Yeah, Mickey Mouse, M&M's, Master Mason, Rush Limbaugh, Katy Perry, 69, 87, second wife's first marriage number, original marriage number. There's January 5th, which is the following day is when the, see, so here's what they're telling you. If it happens on February 2nd or Groundhog Day, they're telling you the following day is when people are going to go nuts. And the day after January 5th is when people went nuts. So I'm really, 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 really loving that gematria for Groundhog Day for round one. Golly. Because we've been suspecting Groundhog Day all along. I mean, we've been suspecting Groundhog Day for quite some time as far as being one of our big time dates because the way it portals through to the snow full moon. It's 23 days away. Michael Jordan's number, LeBron James' number. You know, they passed the torch of the 23 or the greatest basketball player ever. So you tell me I only have to work for me. I have to work for 2.5 more months, but I'm off 3 weeks of that with a few 3-day weekends sprinkled in. Okay. Groundhog Day, Wikipedia. And you're talking about Bill Murray. Bill Murray, Wikipedia. Then you're talking about Caddyshack, golf course. Caddyshack, Wikipedia. So Groundhog Day, Bill Murray, born on September 21st, which portals over to May Day, or the third succession of the 37 plus 37 plus 37 back through the portal. Remember? I remember all this stuff, man. So July 25th, Bill Murray's birthday, September 21st. Groundhog Day, of course, released on February 2nd. Well, that was too easy. Oh, this isn't the movie. I thought it was, my bad. All right, let's try this again. Film. Released on February 12th. How do you not hit that on the ground? Do I have to do y'all's promotions for you? February 12th, the day before the Super Bowl. That would be a Saturday. They don't have any other release dates either. Just straight up February 12th. Boom. Worldwide. Harold Ramis, who did Ghostbusters, and he's November 21st. He died on February 24th, allegedly. I don't trust when any of these people die. But, you know, we'll go with the 11/21. Why not? Okay. I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. I don't know. I mean, the moon's still not visible yet when he goes down. It starts to give a little bit of a crease on Thursday, bigger crease on Friday. And then on barren Saturday, it's nice and visible. It's a waxing crescent. It's usually setting in the west when you first see it as a sliver. Needles. Well, what thumbnail do y'all want to use? Groundhog Day, Bill Murray.
Groundhog Day is an
Well, if you look at that, there's the 58 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1, 2, 3. 58. Interesting. Well, we got our thumbnail. It's supposed to do that. I don't know. Any other thoughts? All Saints Eve, it says. Apollo Helios, Trumpy Bear, Shocking Ending, All Saints Eve, Jordan Spieth. Where did I see that? Right there, Jordan Spieth. Who was that? Gun Control pops up. Let's go another round. Last round. Antichrist dead. AI. Well, once I start the one, but somebody put that in there. I mean, the AI put that in there. Although my friend Adam said Angel White blocked one of his videos. He said it must be AI. I was like, well, of course it's AI. He said it blocked it all over the world. D. John Trump. All right. Love y'all. February 2nd. How many days have we got left? You got 77 more days of normalcy. Semi-normalcy. And then you're going to get smacked right upside the head, ain't you? No, it could happen sooner. And it could happen later. We get that. It's just, I get excited when I feel like I've stumbled across something. I was really big on today's date of November 17th. But this one's really, really big because this is one of our main portal days. And the reason we like it is it sits dead in the middle. Let's face it, Kennedy to Lincoln was 144 days through the winter. Now, if you go back in the other direction, April 15th, and let's just say November 22nd, you get 221 days. Which is 110.05. So if you go up 110 days, 111 days, you get that August 3rd, which is, somewhere around that rising. That's the day after I sat her down and asked her for a divorce. Look how that's exactly opposite, y'all. February 2nd over to August 2nd. That is exactly across the circle of the entire 365-day calendar. It's July to January, but it's February to August. So from August 2nd, or from, so they're 221 days apart in one direction. They're 144 days apart in the other direction. And they fall on that axis of February 2nd, August 2nd, or February 2nd, August 3rd. And really to August 4th, if you count the half day over, which is Obama's birthday and my first wife's birthday. And if we go to a moon phase calendar for that, The second and the third hits right on those crescent. Like the new moon was 4 or 5 days previous. Really hits right on more of the size and shape that you're looking for the snow full moon. So you really are looking at February 2nd. And then you've got to really transport all the way over then to May 11th, which is your portal date through to 9/11. 9/11 back one way, portal it back through the other, you get to May 11th. And after that, if we get past May 11th, we really won't look at another date, in my opinion, until you get to August 3rd. Six days of a new moon. Or August 2nd, when I sat her down and told her I wanted a divorce because I saw The Dark Knight on the 1st, when they saw the ABBA movie. My two wives were together. Seriously. Sat her down next day, told her I wanted a divorce. August 2nd. And it became final exactly 6 months to the day later on Groundhog Day. Now, I will tell you what August 3rd was for me. It's when I totaled my car coming back from Atlanta, watching Pete Rose lose his hitting streak. My friend Sam Masters and I, my dad sent me up on bald tires. We were hydroplaning on the interstate outside of Cordele, Georgia. Cordele, Georgia, zip code. Okay. Put that 101 in there, don't it? Pete Rose, National League hitting streak.
44 game. According to Lancaster Online, but outside of Lancaster, baseball fans remember Garber, then with the Braves, for striking out Rose at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, ending the Red Stars' pursuit of Joe DiMaggio's record 56-game hit streak. Here's video of the at-bat when Garber ended Pete Rose's 44-game hit streak on August.
Finish it. August 1st, 1978. And I totaled my car. Now here's what we saw. On July 31st, we saw him continue the hitting streak. On August 1st, I was going into my senior year of high school. I was going into my, we're about to start 2 days of high school football. And then we watched him lose the streak on August 1st. And then August 2nd, we watched him lead off with a base hit. And the following day, we hit the road. No. Yeah. Okay. Again, 31st, saw him keep the streak going. August 1st, saw him lose it. August 2nd, saw him lead off with a base hit. And then August 3rd, we're coming back home and getting a car wreck. Total a car in Cordele, Georgia. Well, on the interstate. So anyway, love y'all.